more hats than before. Career woman, mom, sandwich generation caregiver, breadwinner, and of course, lover. Can't forget lover, right? We have to learn the importance of and the power of self-care, of setting boundaries, of stepping back to breathe when we need to. As a bearer of children, so many of us do not know how to care for and nurture our wounds, which starts with the condition of our minds and translates into how we care for our bodies. And this is vitally important whether we bear children or not. It's not just physical or emotional. As we will learn today, it is also spiritual. So today, I'm joined in studio by my amazing guest host who will be here soon, Danelle Porcher of SOAR, womb Reiki practitioner, Miss Rhonda Frazier, also known as NAR. She's going to correct me on this when we formally introduce her. And Ivana Griggs, founder of Sensational Flame. We'll be discussing compassion fatigue, setting boundaries, the power of our bodies, and how to address stress. As always, we've got trending topics to discuss, research to dish, and of course, my weekly balance challenge. So stay tuned. We'll be right back on the Live Exchange.
Adopt US Kids presents Multiple Choice Parenting.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes?
How could he do this to you? And for Sheila, she has split ends.
B, console her?
Oh, sweetie, this is going to happen a lot. 4, maybe 5 more times before you get married.
C, take charge?
Got to get this all straightened out. Give a little talking to, man to man, mano a mano. Hey, Steve! Is now a good time? No? Okay, no problem. Bye.
Or D, help her find a new boyfriend?
I know a great place to meet boys. The internet. Nice, single boys. Never mind. How about some ice cream?
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
For more information on how you can adopt, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
When I grow up, I want to be a new pair of blue jeans.
When I grow up, I want to be a kid's first computer.
I want to be a warm place on a
I want to be a football
stadium.
I want to be a bike that races around the country.
I want to be a bench on a forest trail. When I grow up, I don't want to be a piece of garbage. And if you recycle me, I won't be.
Give your garbage another life. Recycle. Learn how at iwanttoberecycled.org. Brought to you by Keep America Beautiful and the Ad Council.
Our freedom and security are made possible through the service and sacrifice of our military and first responders. The Gary Sinise Foundation provides many outreach programs supporting these brave men and women. Join us. Donate at GarySiniseFoundation.org.
I am an American soldier. I'm a warrior and a member of a team.
I serve the people of the United States and live the Army values.
I will always place this first.
I will never accept defeat.
I will never accept defeat.
I will never quit.
I will never leave a fallen comrade.
I am disciplined.
I am disciplined.
Physically and mentally tough.
Trained and proficient in my warrior tasks and drills.
I always maintain my arms, my equipment, and myself.
I am an expert, and I am a professional.
I stand ready to deploy, engage, and destroy the
enemies of the United States of America in close combat.
I am a guardian of freedom and the American way of life.
I am an American soldier.
I am an American soldier.
I am an American soldier.
There's strong, and there's Army Strong. See what it takes at GoArmy.com.
We're more connected than ever before. 90% of America's students use some form of social media, but not all of it's used in a good way. Hurtful posts online are leading to social isolation for many. Psychologists say it's bullying in a brand new way. Well, Beyond Differences and I Keep Safe are looking to change that with ideas for students, their parents, and even teachers. Take the pledge to be kind online and learn more at wearekindonline.com.
Welcome back to the Live Exchange. I'm Dr. Pamela, and let me introduce our amazing guest. So today we are going to be talking about women's health from the inside out, bodies, mind, soul, spirit, everything. So first, joining right next to me is Miss Ivana Griggs. She is originally from Monroe, Louisiana. She moved to Mississippi as a young girl and landed in Atlanta a year and a half ago. She's always wanted her own business, but never wanted to sell anyone else's product. I hear you. So in October of 2015, Ivana founded Sensational Flame. She had $500 to her name and a vision to provide a product offering a holistic and relaxing experience. Sensational Flame candles provide a soothing and relaxing environment. They're 100% soy, all natural, and handmade. And being in business for more than a year, Sensational Flame has now added a body care line called Voluptuous. It is Ivana's belief that every woman and man is valuable, beautiful, and worthy of self-care. So if you're ready for a luxurious experience with a quality product just for you, reach out to Ivana here of Sensational Flame. Welcome.
Hi,
Hey.
thank you for having me.
Thanks for joining us. And number 2, we have Miss Rhonda Frazier, also known as Nar Noor. As a wife and mother who has experienced varying degrees of birth, such as cesarean to VBAC, hospital to home, assisted to unassisted, her services, provided by Protector of the Womb, are designed to meet a specific need for improving womb health and positively influencing birth outcomes. Their mission is to apply right knowledge and right wisdom to the support of women and their families in the maturation of their health, pregnancy, birth, postpartum, and parenting paths, to be able to achieve and maintain a nourished well-being and attain a positive birth experience and outcome that is desired, whether they have a home, hospital, or birth center birth. This sense of informed reasoning allows parents to accept responsibility toward the cultivation of their parenting years. They also mentor and train birth workers to assist women on their pregnancy journey. NAR can be found on Facebook and Instagram at Protector of the Womb. So we also have Ms. Danelle Porcher, who is our guest host, who I see has just come into the building, and I will go ahead and introduce her. She is no stranger to the stage, poet, vocalist, author, and creator of SOAR. The movement believes all things are possible when you decide to become available to the possibility. Danelle is a lover of the arts and is driven to inspire and encourage women through the arts to become the action they seek in their lives. This is an intentional act, redefining for themselves self-love while claiming their own accountability for their life. This movement is to support women in seeking the desired support and healing so each woman may permit themselves to their best self. So visit Danelle. You can find Danelle on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and you can go to our website, www.danelleporcher.com. So welcome, everybody. Welcome. Thanks for joining us. I'm going to go ahead and motion Danelle to come in and join us, but so tell me a little bit, and I want to start with Nar. How did you get involved with the work that you're doing?
Oh, my goodness. Well, I got into birth work and energy work, women's work. It all came from my first birth, really, which was in 2006. I had a cesarean birth at 33 weeks, and it wasn't a positive experience. It wasn't a loving, caring, I didn't feel welcome, within the hospital setting. I mostly had, the doctors were pretty much just telling me, I need to do this, I need to do this. And, it wasn't comforting,
right,
at all. So once I went through that experience, me and my husband went through that experience, I just wanted to learn more. I wanted to know more. I wanted to know more about the birthing process and how we can have ourselves to be healthy and, to be able to also have others around us who will encourage us and comfort us as we're going through, this experience, because, it's something that we all go through, and it should be a very loving time. It should be a comforting time. And I didn't get that, going through my first experience. And, I'm college graduate, I did everything I felt my parents, told me to do, but there were still a lot of things that were missing that I wasn't aware of. So that's really what led me to just on a road of discovery and just wanting to know more, especially about our own people, and growing closer to our culture, and really cultivating that, and, letting others know it's okay to embrace, who we are, and it's okay to embrace traditional cultural practices, it's okay, and these things help us, along our way.
Absolutely, and I'm looking forward to hearing about how you incorporate these practices into the process. And one thing you did say, and I do want to put this out there, that all women go through this, and some don't.
Right.
Some actually don't get the experience of childbirth, and I'm just curious to know if if there's ways in which you work with women who struggle to conceive, and how does that?
I do. For women who may be having fertility issues, I'll ask them, have they been to see, a provider, first of all,
right.
To determine, whether they may be having any medical issues that may be causing them to, not have the babies that they want. But I do work with them as far as, counseling, energy work, focusing really on them, is there something that they're doing also that can, help to, know why they may be experiencing these things. A lot of times it's, our environment or stress, my goodness, is a major factor that causes all kinds of fluctuations in our bodies.
Right.
So I do work with women in a capacity of wanting to become pregnant also.
Okay.
But the main thing is, have they been to anyone to know, is there anything that is going on with my body,
or
that I need to be aware
or their,
right,
or
their
partner's
spouse.
body. Yeah.
Sometimes, they may have to go get checked too,
absolutely.
even though they may feel like it's a blow to their ego, but it's like, hold on. I am the bearer of life.
Yeah.
Like, you don't think this would be a blow to my ego?
Yeah,
Also,
absolutely. It's and it's highly, psychologically distressing.
Right.
I mean, I've witnessed women go through that. So, so I want to make sure that women who are listening and watching understand that they're part of this conversation too. Who haven't been able to conceive.
Right.
So when we come back, we're going to get into the news briefs, and we're going to learn a little bit more also about what Ivana does. So stay with us. We'll be right back.
We're more connected than ever before. 90% of America's students use some form of social media, but not all of it's used in a good way. Hurtful posts online are leading to social isolation for many. Psychologists say it's bullying in a brand new way. Well, Beyond Differences and I Keep Safe are looking to change that with ideas for students, their parents, and even teachers. Take the pledge to be kind online and learn more at wearekindonline.com.
Vince Lombardi once said that it's hard to be aggressive when you're confused. Some of us think that taking our lives to the next level, both personally and professionally, is a confusing and complicated process. Guess what? It's not, and I can prove it. My book, Truisms, will show you how living your life by rules that are so self-evident and obvious, you'll say, I knew that. This powerful yet short, detailed bestseller is on sale right now, under $10. Go to michaelmcfadden.com. That's michaelmcfadden.com, and let Truisms help you to the next level.
Major key alert. Don't ever play yourself. The key is to make it, so make it.
Learn the real major keys to getting to college at GetSchooled.com. Brought to you by Get Schooled and the Ad Council.
Connected than ever before. 90% of America's students use some form of social media, but not all of it's used in a good way. Hurtful posts online are leading to social isolation for many. Psychologists say it's bullying in a brand new way. Well, Beyond Differences and I Keep Safe are looking to change that with ideas for students, their parents, and even teachers. Take the pledge to be kind online and learn more at wearekindonline.com. GetSchooled.com.
Your health is at stake. Diabetes.
Diabetes, cancer, heart disease. Yeah, right. I'm too young to worry about all of that. Or am I? Millions of Americans are being diagnosed younger and younger each year. I guess it's really no surprise with how much our lifestyles have changed. More fried fast foods, extreme stress from work. 176 million people in North America consume unhealthy drinks. I know I do. Who could be next? My brother? My sister? Me? I think it's time to make a difference, and so should you. Extreme X2O alkaline water, designed to cleanse your body with just 2 simple steps. Shake and wait. Not only will it help clean your kidneys, liver, and intestines, but it also helps with weight loss and anti-aging. Sign me up today. AbundantLifeMovement.com. You know, I better go call my sister to let her know about this. You should really tell a friend too, because is it really gonna kill you to shake and wait?
Primary election. Lack of diversity. Gas prices.
Michael Jackson. Trending topics. All right, so trending in the news this week. So still NFL, still in the news. Colin Kaepernick has filed a grievance against the NFL owners for collusion under the league's current collective bargaining agreement. So the big question is whether or not he has proof of collusion. So for those of you who aren't completely clear on what all of this is about, the fact that he has not been hired or picked up by another team, he is basically saying that they have all kind of collaborated to make sure that he gets, I guess, blocked from getting a position in the NFL, being picked up by another team. I don't know.
Would that be like blackball?
Pretty much.
I can believe that.
Yeah.
Right. Because I feel like it was something else that I had heard about how it's another owner of a team. He wants to make people, and I don't want to misquote, but it was one of those things where he's saying that you have to stand. It's like it's making a mandate for people to stand, or you won't be able to play.
Yeah.
Wow. So I just feel like that there's these things that are going on now where it's just like, okay, I just feel like everything is now taken away from the cause and the original where it started. Right. And I'm just like, why are we doing this? Let's remember where and why we did this to begin with.
Yeah, it's all been. It's funny because I was in a Bible study this week and it came up and he said, one of the people in the room said, well, it's funny how you come out with this message and then everybody else says, no, that's not your message. This is your message. So let's repackage your message into something about the flag.
Right.
It's like, so I see Robert Pierce has made a comment and he says that, yes, he's been blackballed, but it's going to be hard. Good luck with him trying to prove that.
That is crazy. I hope that, I saw a meme. Now I don't know if it's true or not, but it's supposed to be Master P and getting with Kaepernick and them creating their own league, which I think that's a beautiful idea.
I proposed it last week.
Wonderful.
That was my proposal last week. That's what I said last week on the show.
Have your own stuff.
I saw one with P. Diddy.
Saying get the league together. And I was saying exactly that. I mean, we have so many people we had a civil rights movement in the 50s and the 60s. Today, we have more powerful black people than we've had before in terms of position, in terms of, and not only that, we have a lot of allies who are not black, who are like, you know what, we stand with y'all too, who will be all for starting this new NFL if we,
I think it gets down to just the change of mindset, because there was I came across another article and it was more on the financial. It was a guy sharing financial information and he was just sharing how much we do as far as add to the economy. And it's just like, again, it's not about, and I feel like
power.
At the end of the day, we should be a collective and it should be about the human race, but it's also, we're at a point in place where we are really requesting change of mindset, which is like the foundation for me as I'm learning and as I'm growing and for everything. Yeah. It's like, I need you to change your mindset.
Yeah.
And that's like the hardest work ever. Right. I don't know.
It is. It absolutely is.
And they're making things very sensitive to where people don't want to change their minds about anything. They want to stay in whatever box or bubble, that they're in, to not even want to address the request.
Okay.
Like, can we address the request?
And the request is not, we're not asking for billions of dollars and, this is not the reparations request.
Right.
This isn't even the reparations request. This
I don't want my mule.
This is something else. I mean, and that's a whole other, but I'm saying that's not even what was being requested in this particular conversation. It's just, it is mindset. It's let's look at what's going on. And so, okay, that was just one of the news. Okay, so I really want to get on this one because this one is addressing women. Lawyers of the women who have accused the president of sexual assault, lawyers of one of the women, subpoenaed his campaign for all documents related to her, any communications with or about her, and all documents concerning the other women, asserting that he inappropriately touched them. So they subpoenaed the campaign of the current president for all communications related to this.
We still ain't seen his taxes, and that's been requested.
So you don't think that's it's not gonna?
Stuff just goes away.
Yeah.
If they, for me, I don't know what.
Well, this time last year, the women there was a woman who she silently withdrew her claim against him.
It just goes away.
Yeah.
For me, it's like, does everybody have a price? Like, can we? And again, it bleeds over into the first topic that we shared. How do you keep the vision and the pace of something that you believe in? Do you have a price?
Yeah.
And so for me, it's like, do you have a price? So with the allegations, because there's other allegations too about a man or gentleman in Hollywood, is there a price for you?
Yeah.
Or are you about the cause? And for me, it's just like, I don't know, because I'm getting more in detail with SOAR and stuff like that. Are you about the cause?
Yeah.
Or are you about a price? I don't know.
There's a lot of, there's a lot of people who are about the price.
Yeah.
Which is disheartening.
It is.
They pay me off and I'm good. Good. And that is why. Okay, I won't go back to football.
Okay.
So that's really interesting. Always attempting, to deflect from making a public statement about the 4 soldiers killed in Niger 4 days ago. On Monday, the president falsely claimed that previous presidents did not call the families of dead soldiers, and he, specifically referred to President Barack Obama as one who did not. You all heard the quote that he said, that this was when he was referring to Sergeant LaDavid Johnson, one of the 4 soldiers killed, and basically told his widow, well, you must have known what he signed up for. And of course he followed that up with, it's got to be really hard. But,
no tag.
So
no tag.
No
tag at all.
So.
I mean, are we like? This is where my concern comes from for the president. I'm like, do you keep tabs because you just steady blocking, or this one perspective that you always have to have? At some point, where do you find not necessarily fault, but ownership of what it is that you're doing? You don't have to say the other presidents didn't do. You are in your own presidency.
Right.
You set the pace.
So be the change that you want.
Something. But it's like constantly,
I want someone to write all his words for him so that he doesn't say anything else.
That he has been very adamant about. I write my own speeches. I don't have anybody do that for me.
But I think they've tried.
He
still veers off.
Oh, God. That's just part of the, yes. Those were our news briefs.
He needs new writers.
Exactly. When we come back, we're going to learn more about what Ivana is doing, and we're going to talk a little bit more about this. Talk a little bit about this Me Too hashtag that's been going around this week. So stay with us. We'll be right back.
Okay, so 5 tacos of cheese and a large soda, that's $10,012. Please drive around.
Wait, 10,000 what?
It's obvious you're buzzed and driving.
I've only had a few. I'm fine.
Yeah, the food's $12, but getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Please drive around. Actually, just park and come in.
Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzz driving, because buzz driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
When I grow up, I want to be a new pair of blue jeans.
When I grow up,
I want to be a kid's first computer.
I want to be a warm place on a
I
cold
want to be
day.
a football
I want to
stadium.
be a bike that races around the country.
I want to be a bench on a forest trail.
When I grow up, I don't want to be a piece of garbage. And if you recycle me, I won't be.
Give your garbage another life. Recycle. Learn how at iwanttoberecycled.org. Brought to you by Keep America Beautiful and the Ad Council.
People been saying to your friend, get a different face. And posting on their feed, they're super ugly. The things they say to them online are cruel and they're not true. So tell your friend, I'll stand up for you. Don't worry, I know what to do.
Know someone being bullied online? You can be a witness and make a difference by letting the world know it isn't cool and by letting your friend know you care. Learn more at iWitnessBullying.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
You don't usually get a stock tip from a 16-year-old, but I'm here to tell you about a different kind of stock. It's called Better Futures, a stock for social change that's not about making money. Instead, you invest to help students like me go to college. This is beyond a simple donation. It's the opportunity for America to invest in its kids and take an active stake in the future of the country. The return on your investment isn't money. What you get back is knowing you protected our potential. So one day, that potential can grow up to become surgeons and architects, executives and engineers, people who can change the future just by being a part of it. My name is Alicia, and I am your dividend.
Invest in better futures with UNCF. Visit uncf.org/invest. A mind is a terrible thing to waste, but a wonderful thing to invest in. A public service announcement brought to you by UNCF and the Ad Council.
If you're looking for that ratchet, you're in the wrong place. It's the nation's urban internet station, Sensation Station Network.
In the interest of science.
All right, so today's science is about compassion fatigue. I'm sure many of us have heard of it, but maybe not everybody. No? Oh, good. Okay, good. I get to teach something new today. I love it. Okay. Yeah, I mean, and in your career, you know, Danelle's a nurse, and I know you're going to be like, oh, yeah, oh, my gosh, I understand.
Yes,
okay, so here's what compassion fatigue is. Well, I actually didn't put the definition here. I just have information about it. So compassion fatigue is basically when you are spending your time and your energy on helping somebody else in crisis, and the trauma of that experience transfers over to you. And you go home and you're thinking about this person or thinking about the collective experiences that you've seen, and you find yourself in distress as a result of what somebody else is going through. As you know, if there's illness, if it's that they have been sexually abused, whatever it is, and you have been their champion, you've been the one at their side, there's a point at which we can experience fatigue from that, which is psychological, it's physical, and it's almost as if the impact of it has hit us, personally.
That is,
and I can agree with that as a birth worker, someone who works with mothers, because sometimes, depending on what they're going through in their own lives, we spend a lot of time with them. We give a lot of our energy to our mothers that we work with, and sometimes we take that home with us.
Right.
And sometimes, we don't even know that we're taking it with us.
Yeah.
So, there has to be times where we create for that self-care. There's a phrase, doulaing the doula. Sometimes we need that also, working with our mothers.
Right.
I've worked with mothers who were single mothers who may not have been a single mother originally, but she ended up becoming a single mom.
Wasn't the plan,
and, we take those things on. We take on their frustration. We take on their guilt. We take on their unhappiness from what they're going through.
Right.
And, we all need to learn how to de-stress and decompress from these situations.
And not internalize. Because that's what's happening is we're internalizing somebody else's pain.
Right.
I agree. And there's a concept that's coming into my mind. Energy is neither created or destroyed.
Right.
So there's always a transfer of energy. And sometimes in the practices that we are all in, I know personally, professionally, everything, we have to be mindful. So to piggyback, it's definitely about self-care routine. And what does your self-care look like? Because we're constantly around energy, whether negative, positive, but it's never destroyed. It's never created. It was always transferable. So, you know, that's, yeah. I've experienced that then.
I know you have. I mean, it's like
I have experienced it.
when you're in the helping professions and, you know, whether you're a life coach, a nurse, your, you know, birth, whatever it is, if you're hearing people's stories, and it doesn't even have to be from your profession, it can just be somebody in your family, a best friend, you know, you could be the wife of, or husband, let me not just like put people in boxes, of a veteran, you know, and who has experienced trauma, you know, at war, you know, and so there's a lot of ways in which compassion fatigue can happen, and actually I did have the definition here, I didn't see that, but it's characterized by physical and emotional exhaustion, and a profound decrease in the ability to empathize, which is so interesting because you start to kind of, if it gets really bad, you start to become numb to it, and that's when it becomes really bad. It's a form of secondary traumatic stress, as the stress occurs as a result of helping or wanting to help those in need, and it's often referred to as the cost of caring for others who are in physical or emotional pain. If left untreated, compassion fatigue can not only affect mental and physical health, but it can also have serious legal and ethical implications when providing therapeutic services to people. Because now you're trying to save people. You know, now you're going to their house and, you know, I'll take your babies for you for the weekend, and, you know, you're crossing ethical lines, and, you know.
There's a point of where you have to just say, here's my boundary. Right. I think, you know, again, in every... creating those fine boundaries, not where it's like a fine line or ultimatum, but a boundary, right? And what does that look?
Strong, solid.
So that you can disconnect, because I think when you're helping in service of people, you also have to know when you're grounded, you know, and what does your grounding look like, you know? So
that's good. That's good.
Good stuff.
Well, so this article comes from goodtherapy.org and the cost of caring, and it talks about 10 ways to prevent compassion fatigue. You guys have already mentioned a couple of them, but one is to get educated. So know what it is and know how to recognize it is first and foremost most important. Practice self-care. And I think you mentioned that, Nar. Set emotional boundaries, as you just said. Engage in outside hobbies. So don't make this your whole world. You have to be able to step outside of that. Cultivate healthy friendships outside of work. This is just if your work happens to be a helping profession. Create, you know, because then, you know, you don't want your clients to become your best friend, and now you're trying to do everything for them. Keep a journal. Journaling is an excellent way to process and release emotions. Boost your resiliency. So resilience is our ability to bounce back from stress. So when we are, and you know, and it does take some specific effort to boost your resiliency, and you know, you have to be intentional about how you choose to overcome or address problems that come up in your life. Use positive coping strategies. Identify workplace strategies, so taking regular breaks, having mental health days, on-site counseling, relaxation rooms, those kinds of things, and then seek personal therapy, you know, when needed. So make sure that you are doing what you have to do so that compassion fatigue does not take over.
I totally agree. Those are some good stuff.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, I promise when we get back, we're going to talk about Sensational Flame. Stay with us on The Life Exchange.
Your health is at stake. Diabetes.
Diabetes, cancer, heart disease, yeah, right. I'm too young to worry about all of that, or am I? Millions of Americans are being diagnosed younger and younger each year. I guess it's really no surprise with how much our lifestyles have changed. More fried fast foods, extreme stress from work. 176 million people in North America consume unhealthy drinks. I know I do. Who could be next? My brother? My sister? Me? I think it's time to make a difference, and so should you. Extreme X2O alkaline water powder designed to cleanse your body with just 2 simple steps: shake and wait. Not only will it help clean your kidneys, liver, and intestines, but it also helps with weight loss and anti-aging. Sign me up today. AbundantLifeMovement.com. You know, I better go call my sister to let her know about this. You should really tell a friend too, because is it really gonna kill you to shake and wait?
You use Tearless Baby Shampoo because it's gentle on your baby's eyes. You make sure his toys don't have any sharp edges. You always test the bath water to make sure it's not too hot. You taught her what to do when the smoke alarm goes off. You make sure she wears a helmet when she rides her bicycle. You put on his sunscreen, even when he's embarrassed his friends will see. You do so much to keep your child safe. But are you using the right car seat for your child? Is your child facing the right way in the car seat? Is the seat too big or too small? How do you know when it's time to move your child into the next type of seat? Car crashes are a leading killer of children ages 1 to 13. Protect your child's future at every stage of life. For information on the right seat for your child, visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat. That's safercar.gov/the-right-seat.
A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Why is Connor having trouble focusing in school?
Having trouble finding Connor's middle school? Would you like directions?
No, why is Connor having trouble focusing in school?
Finding lowest airfare to Istanbul.
No, I'm tired of fighting with him over homework.
Home, walk, restaurant. Need a review?
No, I need help. He's very smart, but his mind wanders. He's disorganized.
I think I understand.
Oh, good.
Finding best potatoes for French fries.
No!
Russet, fingerling, Yukon Gold.
Why don't you understand me?
Sorry, I was trying to show how Connor feels every day. Frustrating, isn't it? Redirecting to understood.org.
For the 1 in 5 kids with learning and attention issues, this is what life can feel like. Explore understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues, designed to help your child thrive in school and in life. Understood.org, because understanding is everything.
Brought to you by understood.org and the Ad Council.
I am an American soldier. I'm a warrior and a member of a team. I serve the people of the United States and live the Army values.
I will always place this first. I will never accept defeat.
I will never accept defeat.
I will never quit.
I will never leave a fallen comrade. I am disciplined.
I am disciplined. Physically and mentally tough.
Trained and proficient in my warrior task and drill.
I always maintain my arms, my equipment, and myself.
I am an expert and I am a professional.
I stand ready to deploy, engage, and destroy the
enemies of the United States of America in close combat.
I am a guardian of freedom and the American way of life.
I am an American soldier.
I am an American soldier.
I am an American soldier.
There's strong, and there's Army strong. See what it takes at GoArmy.com.
All right, welcome back to the Live Exchange. I'm Dr. Pamela, and today we are talking about all things women's health, mental, emotional, spiritual, the whole thing. So sitting next to me is Ivana, and she is the founder of Sensational Flame. And tell us a little bit about Sensational Flame and how you came. What is it you do with Sensational Flame?
Yes, well, Sensational Flame it started off as just a natural candle company as a way to embrace you, whoever you are, he or she, as well as something to give you a peace of mind. I decided to start Sensational Flame as a way to get away from everything I was going through. I always said that I wanted to be very business-minded. I wanted my own business, but my number one thing was I did not want to sell anyone else's product. I wanted to make sure it had my name on it. When I first decided to start making candles, to me it was a way to relieve stress. It was from going to school every day to working 12 to 13 hours a day, and I was just, I need a getaway, and candles were my getaway. Little did I know that it would be something that I'll end up doing in the future full time. So the kind of candles that I make, they're natural. I always see it as a way as a calming, to calm your nerves, something very peaceful. I would have girls over and they'll say, oh my gosh, it smells awesome. And so I decided to say, well, you know, people always do really crazy things. What if you just poured it on you, and it actually had a benefit to it. And they would say, what? And I'm like, yeah, let me just see what I can do.
I wasn't ready for that.
Let me see if I can come up with something crazy, and we'll see. So I came up with this really, really awesome formula. And I always say it's awesome because it has so many great benefits. It helps calm your nerves. It helps relieve eczema. It helps inflammation of the skin. It helps psoriasis. So it was pretty awesome. So once I put it out there, I kind of knew I had something going. I wanted it to just be focused on candles. Little did I know that the candle business would help me to address things that I have kept hidden inside me for so long.
Wow.
I used to be a very angry person, and it was nobody's fault but mine. Nothing could make me smile, nothing could make me happy, and people would always come up to me, and I always have to say thank goodness that I had an awesome product, because if I didn't, I don't think they would have purchased anything. Not that I was mean or anything, it was just I didn't know how to deal with anything that I had going on. I was always going to work, coming home, making product. Going to work, coming home, making product. I didn't want to hang out with anyone. And at the age that I am now, I'm 29 now, I learned as a woman, we sometimes have to take time for ourselves and deal with what we have going on, even if it's emotions. And I'm a very emotional creature. I say that, but I was really good at hiding it. People say, you're okay? Yeah, I'm fine. So I think what really the day that I really knew that I had to deal with it as a business, I did this really big expo in Chicago, the Gospel Radio Awards, and I had someone come up to me and they were like, you are such a beautiful person and I love your product. And it was crazy. It was while I was up there, I sold out, but what she said to me, it really stuck out. So that's when I decided to merge what my business really was about. Sensational Flame is a way for women as well as men, but mostly women, to come together and say, you know what, I'm going to take time for me, I'm going to relax, and I'm going to exhale. No matter what's going on in the world, no matter what I have going on, this is my time now. So that's what the experience I like to provide people when it comes to my product. Exhale, relieve, and know that in the end, everything will be okay.
I love it. Absolutely love it. I want her to come to Women, Wine, and Wisdom, and we want to pour wax or pour candles on people. Oh, I can feel it now. Okay, stay with us. We'll be right back on the Live Exchange.
Our freedom and security are made possible through the service and sacrifice of our military and first responders. The Gary Sinise Foundation provides many outreach programs supporting these brave men and women. Join us. Donate at GarySiniseFoundation.org.
Hi, I'm Viola Davis. Did you know that 1 in 5 kids in America struggle with hunger? Growing up, I was one of those kids. But we can solve this. When we make breakfast happen for kids in our neighborhood, we have the power to end childhood hunger, create bigger, brighter school days, and healthier minds and bodies. Go to hungeris.org and lend your time or your voice.
We're hungry for more.
A message from the Albertsons Companies Foundation and the Entertainment Industry Foundation.
Major key alert. Life is like school. You will be tested, so pass it.
Learn the real major keys to getting to college at GetSchooled.com. Brought to you by Get Schooled and the Ad Council.
People are always looking to invest in a good opportunity. So what if you could invest in the future of kids, like a stock? Not the kind of stock that's about making money, but a stock for social change called Better Futures. With your investment, it helps students like me go to college. My name is Charles, and I'm your dividend.
Invest in better futures with UNCF. Visit uncf.org/invest. A mind is a terrible thing to waste, but a wonderful thing to invest in. Brought to you by UNCF and the Ad Council.
And so a new American industry has been born.
Sensation Station Network.
All right, welcome back to the Live Exchange. I'm Dr. Pamela. We're talking about health, women's health, and I've got Ivana sitting next to me. She is the founder of Sensational Flame, and this woman just said that she pours candles on people. Like, I'm probably saying it all wrong, but I love it because it's another way of finding relaxation. And the great thing about when I meet entrepreneurs and people who start their businesses is that the ones that I am most attracted to, and I think that are also most successful, are those who have some kind of unique twist to what they do. And and so how many people have I guess come to you and said, "Wow, this is something I've never heard of before. It's different."
To be honest, I have a lot of people come to me when I tell them. I always tell them it's a candle, but I always say, "Well, it's 2 in 1." And when I say, "Well, it melts down to a body oil," they say, "What?"
See, what? You didn't say that before. Wait a minute. It melts down to a body oil.
And then some of them, I always like to say, "Well, let me show you," so they can see exactly what I do. And their eyes will get big, like, "Do not pour that on me. It's going to burn." But when I show them, they're really intrigued, and they're like, "Oh my gosh."
All right, those of you who are going to Women Wine and Wisdom in Atlanta, she has not said yes yet, but she's going to be there, and she's going to demonstrate pouring this oil. We got to see this in person. So, November 11th, yes.
Awesome, okay.
All right. And how about you, Nar? With what you do with women, what makes your work unique?
Well, I would say what makes it unique is, I guess, me.
I love that.
I love SOAR, and when I found out about SOAR, I was like, that is what I'm doing.
Yes.
I am taking flight, and I want other women to take flight with me. And it's funny that the first part of my name, Nar, means bird. So,
I love it.
And connecting with Danelle this past month, I think it's been, I would say that is what I bring that is unique, is just being me and bringing that energy to others.
I love it. Well, and I introduced Danelle, and we didn't really go into what SOAR is. So for those of you who don't know, tell us.
So I am Danelle Porcher, and I have a movement. It's called SOAR with 3 S's. I will somehow, in some way, with some effort, overcome all rifts. Rifts meaning hurt, the pain, the anger, the grief, the strife, because I need for my women to heal. And I need for them to get to a space to where they can become most vulnerable. And right now I feel, and this is just my personal opinion, that our world is crying out. The things that we are seeing, the things that we notice, the things that we still kind of want to hide and not actually see, our society is crying for us to heal. Absolutely. And it's not from the outward, it's an inward experience. And so again, this concept, again, it's been a growing process of unfolding, but I was given the download 2015, and I was trying to figure out, how am I going to be creative on my own path, struggling, like, do I want to be a singer? Do I want to be a poet? I don't know which one to do, and finally I just asked how. And everybody has a different name for source, but I asked how. I said, show me. So 2016 was the concept, or the end of 2015 it was downloaded. So 2016 was the first actual show in April. And it has just been gaining momentum then. And the best way that I can explain what SOAR is, it's full of poetry. It's full of positivity. I want women to construct their lives and understand where they are in their lives so that they can improve their lives. So it's things like that, and actually having a platform where women can come to ages 16 plus and we really hash this out and we celebrate at the end. Right. So there's a major celebration happening October 29, 2017 from 1 to 6 p.m. These ladies are a part of the SOAR experience. Yes. They will be there with their knowledge, their experience, their story, and I want women to know about alternatives out there. If you're not successfully soaring, because you're soaring regardless, it can be in a destructive way or a constructive way. I want you to construct in a most positive way possible. And here is a platform where if you can't find no other courage and word, you can come here. Right. So, as I'm like speaking and unfolding again, all of it's not all together. I want folks to know that it's not all figured out. But as I continue to walk, I'm meeting beautiful people. I'm meeting beautiful reflections that are sitting right here, that are women who are on their initiative, who are stepping out, who are wanting to find things, and they bring special skills for us to heal.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. I love it. And I love that you're soaring, whether it's in the right direction or not. So what are you going to do
What you gonna do
with those
different?
wings. Yeah, I love it.
And I'm in your face. What you gonna do different?
Mm-hmm. I love it. Well, the Balance Challenge is challenge us to do just that. So
Your balance with Dr. Pamela. Dr. Pamela. Dr. Pamela.
okay, so this week's Balance Challenge, and it's come up already, but I want you all to set a new boundary for yourself this week. A new boundary. So some of you may already be great at setting boundaries. Some of you may struggle with setting boundaries. I don't care where you are on that continuum. I want you to set a new boundary this week. The last couple of weeks for me in particular have been crazy. It has been one event to rush home, to fix dinner for my daughter, to go, straight into working on this project till midnight, try to get a few hours of sleep in, wake up, work out, repeat. And it's just like, when do I get to breathe? And so for me, my boundary has been working out. Like, I don't care what happens. I'm going to fit it in, and it's not about my body, of course. You want the spot. It's not about that. It's about my peace of mind. It's about my sanity. And what I found is that my morning walks, which is not what I normally do. I usually get in the gym, run on the treadmill. The morning walks have been very intentional. It has been about, I'll listen to. I love the Enya station. So for those of you who aren't familiar, it's like this soothing, meditative type music. If you ever go get a massage, you might hear that Enya kind of music, ENYA. Check it out. And so I'll listen to that, or I'll listen to gospel, depending on what it is I'm trying to accomplish. And so if I want peaceful, quiet meditation, then that's what I'll do. If I just want to sing and dance and praise, I'm listening to gospel. So whatever works for you. But that's my boundary. That's how I've been building my boundary. Nobody can touch that time. Nobody can touch that time. So what boundary are you going to set for yourself this week? I want you all to think about that. It could be, I'm not taking calls after 10 o'clock, no matter what. I'm not taking calls between 12 and 1. It's my quiet and lunchtime, no matter what. You have to stick to it, though. That's the thing. All right, we'll be right back.
Health is at stake. Diabetes.
Diabetes, cancer, heart disease. Yeah, right. I'm too young to worry about all of that. Or am I? Millions of Americans are being diagnosed younger and younger each year. I guess it's really no surprise with how much our lifestyles have changed. More fried fast foods, extreme stress from work. 176 million people in North America consume unhealthy drinks. I know I do. Who could be next? My brother? My sister? Me? I think it's time to make a difference, and so should you. Extreme X2O alkaline water, designed to cleanse your body with just 2 simple steps. Shake and wait. Not only will it help clean your kidneys, liver, and intestines, but it also helps with weight loss and anti-aging. Sign me up today. AbundantLifeMovement.com. I better go call my sister to let her know about this. You should really tell a friend too, because is it really going to kill you to shake and wait?
To Atlanta.
Good answer.
Sensation Station Network.
All right, Dr. Pamela, welcome back to the Live Exchange. We are talking women's health, and there's a lot of different components to it. One of the things that came out this week was the hashtag #MeToo. And I saw a lot of debate and controversy over it. There were a lot of people who just did their Me Too, and some told their stories, and there were others that I ain't doing the Me Too thing. For some, they had reasons. They said, well, that's a white woman's movement. They didn't support us. I'm not going to support them, was some of the arguments. Another arguments was against men. Well, men who would respond with the Me Too because they've been sexually assaulted. This is for women. So there was a whole lot of debate. Now, I do want to make one thing clear, that when Alyssa Milano, she was the originator. She was the one who initially said, if anybody has been sexually assaulted, please respond with a Me Too. She did not say if only women have been sexually assaulted. She did not say we want men to just listen. Now, there are times when that's totally appropriate. We just want the men to listen, and we want to. But that wasn't her call. That her call was anybody who's been sexually assaulted, respond with a Me Too. So what are your all thoughts? What are your thoughts about that? I don't know.
I already got my thought, but go ahead.
And we might have to even take this beyond the break, because I know we only have a few minutes, but go ahead.
Okay, so here's my thing. With anything that you do, and sometimes you might not know right away what the actual original or why you're doing it, but what it was the intention behind it? Like, and again, and where is it that it needs to be taken to? Are we just like exposing, for example, or are we just sharing light?
Right.
Or we want people to feel inclusive. But again, I'm always getting back to the place of how is this going to heal? How is this, we're shedding light. People are saying me too. Okay, so when do we usher in the work beyond it? Because of people being Me Too, people have been involved. People have been exposed to this. What is the part 2? What are we now going to do collectively and individually to address how you're showing up? Because I guarantee, because of your assault, you're showing up in a way that's not conducive.
Right.
So that's just...
Well, and let me add this little tidbit of information here. Mandy has pointed out that Me Too was actually started by a black woman named Tarana Burke. And this Me Too was actually started 10 years ago by Tarana Burke. So I don't know if this is just a whole separate... 10 years ago. Yeah, so I had never seen it before, this week.
I had never heard of it.
And so in fairness, I don't know if Alyssa Milano just took that and said, I'm going to do the same thing, or it just happened to be a thing that she did and people responded. But yes, we do want to acknowledge Tarana Burke, if she was the first to do it, 10 years ago. But again, if Alyssa Milano, posted it with no thought, no intention of previous movements related, that was her intention. I just wanted to...
Yeah, I'm just like, what is it? How do we take it a step further so we actually see a result of the movement, a result of the
Right.
please.
I asked that question, but I'm like, what are we gonna do about?
What do you do about it? Well, there's a lot of people doing a lot of things about it. It's frustrating because we don't see enough
out there in the public.
Right, and we don't see the changes. But I mean, I could tell you, I know lots of people who are actively engaged in the movement to end sexual assault. It's not that nothing's happening, at least on the grassroots level.
Right.
What we want to see happen is in policy and in government and what is actually being passed to make a difference. And so we're not done with this conversation, but we do need to get into Love Notes.
Love Notes with Dr. Pamela.
All right, so Love Notes is brought to you by BBLA Consult. I always say consultants. They are consultants too, but they're a cosmetic company. And BBLA stands for Breathe Beauty LA. They are the cosmetic company that's responsible for the look on my face. Every day they try to hook me up. Well, not every day, every show.
So nice.
They hook me up. So I'm very appreciative of Breathe Beauty LA, particularly Funmi, the owner, is a very sweet, amazing woman, and always has some great advice for me right before I get on the show. Oh. So today's letter is from Nalani, and she says, Dear Dr. Pamela, I have very few positive women role models in my life. The relationship between my mother and I is estranged, and I think that our estranged relationship has impacted all of my other potential connections with women. I struggle to fit in when I am with other women and cannot open up and trust the way that I see them trust each other. How can I get past this? That's a really good question. Yeah, it's heavy. I heard the heavy side. So I'm curious, Nar, from a womb perspective, connection between mother and child, or am I just thinking too deep? But anybody have any thoughts or feedback for Milani on this question?
I mean, I would say whoever is her closest female connection, build with them.
Nurture that.
Yeah, and really grow and really talk to this person and let them know how they're feeling. Also, if she isn't already, journaling is a great exercise to do, to really get out her thoughts, or to be able to share her emotional inventory, as I had heard someone else say it before, to really work through her feelings on, her issues with her mother, because we're a reflection of our mother. We are a reflection of that. So whoever she is closest with, really connect with that person. Let that person in to you, who she is, and move from there. And slowly add one more,
Right.
one
Just
more.
start small.
You can do it on your own time.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody pushing you to go out and meet the whole world.
That's true.
I don't want to meet the whole world.
Right.
I just want a few people at a time,
A few small.
Yes.
And I think when she says that, she can't open up and trust the way she sees them trust each other, she may be fantasizing that women there's just this whole
that we all get along,
tribe
or
of
something
women
like that.
and sometimes it's just small groups, 2 or 3 women that
and
you trust.
And you only need a small group.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not taking on everyone.
Right.
You want 1 or 2 people that you know you can go to and you trust them with everything.
Right. You have to be willing to step out there first. So we're going to go to break, and when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about Me Too and any other thoughts you may have. You seem like you haven't thought about this mother-daughter thing. All right, we'll be right back.
Sensation Station Network.
Hello and welcome to the second hour of the Live Exchange, where we exchange compelling dialogue around love, politics, and intellect every Thursday from 11 to 1. I'm Dr. Pamela, and on today's show, we are discussing women's health as a prerequisite for women's empowerment. Today, I'm joined in studio by my amazing guest host, Miss Danelle Porcher of SOAR, womb Reiki practitioner, Nar Noor, and Ivana Griggs, founder of Sensational Flame. And so we're talking compassion fatigue. We've talked about setting boundaries, the power of our bodies, and how to address stress. So we're covering all of it. There's so much to cover. So we were just talking, we just got a letter from Nolani, who expressed an estranged relationship with her mother and feels like that's the reason why she struggles with building relationships with other women. Did you have any thoughts about that?
I wanted to add, Sweet Pea, you have to trust yourself.
Absolutely.
There's somewhere in you, and the only reason why I recognize it because I too am going through this process, and it's one of those things, learning how to trust self. And again, whatever your practice is, whatever your religion is, moving beyond that, what is it that you trust as far as your higher being? Who are you?
Yeah.
And do you trust that? And so what I have found, because of this awareness for myself, because I share that same question that you have, it's one of those things is I have made it intentional to build relationships with women now. And especially because I have said yes to and being available to what is coming through me, it's ushering in another type of woman. So that I can build and have rapport and be over-intentional and express how I feel. Because seeing me right now and 5-6 years ago, I ain't the same person. So it's one of those things I really implore that you just, where in your walk do you not trust yourself at this point in your time or in your life? So,
yeah, because we have to perceive ourselves as somebody who has the potential to contribute to the lives of others, and if you trust in yourself and you believe and you know who you are, you know what you bring to the table, so you're less concerned about what that person may bring you or what they may do to you than you are about what you have to contribute. And when you're solid and you're firm in yourself, you can block the negativity that people attempt to bring to you, and you're aware enough to say, you know what, this ain't for me, I'm moving on to the next thing.
And I have to completely agree with that, because as someone who, I was always just inside my own mind a lot of the time, and me growing now within these last 5 years of professionally growing my business and really focusing on what I want to do, and I feel like that is the thing that makes each one of us unique, is when we found that I, that I that comes out and says, I can do this.
Right.
I'm grounded. I'm all these things.
Yeah. And that sounds like Ivana's story. I mean, it just reminded me of Ivana when she said, I was kind of in my shell. I wasn't, and I broke out. I discovered myself.
I definitely, that story, what she's wanting to do, I do know, and I agree with all you ladies. You have to focus and learn who you are as a person before you can even branch out and want to connect with other women. Because I feel as if personally, my personal story, once you learn who you are, those kind of women that you want to be around, they will definitely come without you even thinking about it. And when they do come, you'll be able to say, you know what, I'm comfortable in my own skin, who I am as a person, to be me and not feel afraid to say what I need to say and just do me.
Because you're you, you know.
Absolutely.
And if you don't like what I say, that's cool. There's some other people over there.
Absolutely.
It'll be perfectly fine. They will let me pour the oil on them. They will let me pour the oil on them.
And here, I would love to share it. If she's listening right now, just take some time. First, be kind to yourself.
Yes.
Be gentle with yourself. And just do a reflective on all the women that are in your life and see where you in it.
Yeah.
See your reflection in it. Don't worry about them, but see what it is that you see in them about you.
Right.
And then take it from there.
That's beautiful. All right, stay with us. We'll be right back on the Live Exchange.
I am an American soldier. I'm a warrior and a member of a team. I serve the people of the United States and live the Army values.
I will always place this first.
I will never accept defeat.
I will never accept defeat.
I will never quit. I will never leave a fallen comrade. I am disciplined.
I am disciplined, physically and mentally tough.
Trained and proficient in my warrior tasks and drills.
I always maintain my arms, my equipment, and myself.
I am an expert and I am a professional.
I stand ready to deploy, engage, and destroy the
Enemies of the United States of America in close combat.
I am a guardian of freedom and the American way of life.
I am an American soldier.
I am an American soldier.
I am an American soldier. There's strong, and there's Army Strong. See what it takes at GoArmy.com.
We're more connected than ever before. 90% of America's students use some form of social media, but not all of it's used in a good way. Hurtful posts online are leading to social isolation for many. Psychologists say it's bullying in a brand new way. Well, Beyond Differences and I Keep Safe are looking to change that with ideas for students, their parents, and even teachers. Take the pledge to be kind online and learn more at wearekindonline.com.
Our freedom and security are made possible through the service and sacrifice of our military and first responders. The Gary Sinise Foundation provides many outreach programs supporting these brave men and women. Join us. Donate at GarySiniseFoundation.org.
I'm more resourceful than I thought.
My suit can still make an impression.
My video games are still game changers.
And my lamp can bring others a bright future.
Because when I donate my stuff to Goodwill,
it helps fund job placement and training for people right in my community.
Now my stuff gets a second chance.
And will give someone in my community
a second chance too.
Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs. Find your nearest donation center at goodwill.org. That's goodwill.org. This message brought to you by Goodwill and the Ad Council.
Deliberate dumbing down. Dumb down society.
Deliberate dumbing down of America.
Dumb down public. Why would they do this?
Sensation Station Network. Radio, not dumbed down.
Primary election.
Lack of diversity.
Gas prices.
Michael Jackson. Trending topics.
All right, trending this week. Unfortunately, though, this one is not trending, but we found it anyway. And it's sad that this kind of story doesn't trend. But at least 300 people were confirmed dead after a double car bombing rocked Mogadishu on Saturday, making it the deadliest attack in Somalia's modern history. Why wouldn't something like this be covered extensively?
It's just like, I already feel like we're heavy, like the things that happen in America, but sometimes I think about like the things that we're experiencing now. It happens like yearly and daily over in other countries that we don't hear about. I'm just saying, sometimes I think on the opposite other than what we've experienced, because we've had not only the hurricanes, we've had the fires, and it's just, the shooting in Vegas, just a plethora of things. And so now it's where, things of that nature, these things go on all the time. Like outside of America, like all the time.
Well, the world is huge, so
huge.
Of course there's gonna be bombings happening in other parts of the world. But we pick and choose which ones we want to cover and which ones we want to have. Pray for such and such country, pray for such and such place, and but we don't. We just pick and choose.
I know,
Yeah.
and it's just I don't know. I don't know what to comment on that.
Yeah.
But, it's sad.
I have no comment.
No comment.
Sad, but
Yeah.
It's because recently I think another article that I came across. It was a landslide that killed like a whole entire family, and I can't remember the country, but I'm just like complete landslide because they had like a whole bunch of rain. It just kept raining, and the mountain, and it just slid.
Wow.
And hundreds of people died.
Yeah.
Instantaneously.
Wow.
People lost family. It was one gentleman, he lost his whole family except for his son.
Oh my gosh.
Mhm.
That's awful.
Yeah. So it's stuff going out here, y'all.
Yeah, there's a lot going on everywhere, and nowadays, I mean, I guess lately we've had so many things hit us back to back to back to back, that I guess it just feels very overwhelming right now. So had this not been a trend, I guess, in the last 10 years that I remember paying attention, where something happens in Africa, bombing, suicide, terrorist, something, and you're like, oh, no attention whatsoever.
Yeah.
I mean, if it was that this was the first time this happened and we didn't really cover it, I'd be like, okay, well, we got a lot going on here. But it's just, it's the trend that it doesn't,
Someone had shared with me, in certain countries, I'm not going to say all of them, but it was like a general discussion where there's still like the guerrilla warfare, whereas whoever gets to, it's not where it's like, structured government. It's like whoever's warring at the time and whoever's dominant in that militia is the one that takes over the government. And it's still happening. Like in countries like Somalia, and I can't say other countries or which ones they are, but where those type of tactics is where people are still getting into government,
right,
and at rule. And then it's in the favoritism of whoever's in rule at that time.
Right.
So it's still that is even happening, you know.
And I see Fullwood has commented that, and I'm trying to get it verbatim here, from where I can actually see it.
He says people of color who live in places that's not providing resource to the Western country. That's why it's not on the news.
Okay. So from an economic standpoint, it's irrelevant.
That's pretty much
to put it in blunt terms.
If I don't got I can't make no money off of you.
Yeah. That's interesting. Okay, let's see. 3 people were killed, 2 people were killed, 3 people were killed, and 2 people were killed. I think there was a typo there. In a shooting at an office park in Edgewood, Maryland on Wednesday morning. Must have been the suspect at this time is still on the loose. So the issue of gun control, always comes up. But I want to do something exciting. Okay, so here's some exciting news. Okay. The new trailer for the upcoming Marvel Comics film Black Panther was released this week to rave reviews and pomp and circumstance. The film looks to be the epitome of being unapologetically black.
Thank you.
Black there, black over there, black.
Like everything.
The film will open in theaters. Wait for it. February 16th. We're excited, but it's like, we got 6 months?
I know.
February 16th, 2018. It's just in time for Black History Month. I didn't even think.
Why? I didn't think we could have done it in
Nobody
March.
thought about it.
Does Black History Month actually still exist? That's my question.
If you're on a college campus, it does.
HBCUs.
Well,
yeah, they celebrate it.
Okay. All right.
So, yeah, they do. It's a thing.
I'm just saying. I just put it out there.
You don't even know what to say.
I mean, I know for me, it's like all the time. It's every day. It is every day. So, it does.
Unapologetically.
Yes, there you go. It's funny you say that because the person who helps compile the notes, shout out to Ian for the news, actually said to raise a fist like you just did when talking about the trailer for Black Panther. And so I have to say I am extremely excited about this.
Very excited.
Yes. I saw the trailer and I made my daughter watch it. I was like, okay, come here. you're watching this.
I just hope it'll tell exactly what took place.
Yeah.
Like, you know, just the whole story. Like, you know, the Black Panther movement, and then...
No, not that Black Panther. I was like, wait a minute now.
Which one was
I'm going to need you to
the
watch the
comic?
trailer.
I know. We got to pull it up for her.
My bad.
She's thinking unapologetically Black. No, not that kind of unapologetically Black.
The comic.
Yeah.
Okay.
See? Marvel Comics. So in the Marvel Comics, the Black Panther, we really didn't necessarily know what race he was. And, you know, because he's in a Black Panther suit. Not like that Black Panther. Okay. But a panther, like a cat.
Ah.
But the producers of this movie wisely decided to, let's make it a black setting. There was a comment. I would love to hear your thoughts on this. There was a comment that said, so all of you black people are really excited about this. What happened to your caring about diversity? There's only like 2 white guys in the movie, so now all of a sudden you don't care about diversity?
Oh my! And there are 2 white guys in the movie. They're at the beginning and at the end, I think.
It's not diverse enough.
That's diverse. We're not going to talk about that when all the shows on TV, and we hear this everywhere in a lot of countries. It's a lot of Caucasian faces, even on their news in other countries. So diversity,
it's about time.
I don't even want to get started.
That was the
on
response to the tweet. Was it's about time. All right, we'll be right back on the Live Exchange.
The world is changing.
And we are changed.
Sensation Station Network.
Radio of Dumbtown.
Your health is at stake. Diabetes.
Diabetes, cancer, heart disease, yeah, right. I'm too young to worry about all of that, or am I? Millions of Americans are being diagnosed younger and younger each year. I guess it's really no surprise with how much our lifestyles have changed. More fried fast foods, extreme stress from work. 176 million people in North America consume unhealthy drinks. I know I do. Who could be next? My brother? My sister? Me? I think it's time to make a difference, and so should you. Extreme X2O alkaline water, designed to cleanse your body with just 2 simple steps: shake and wait. Not only will it help clean your kidneys, liver, and intestines, but it also helps with weight loss and anti-aging. Sign me up today. AbundantLifeMovement.com. You know, I better go call my sister to let her know about this. You should really tell a friend too, because is it really gonna kill you to shake and wait?
Vince Lombardi once said that it's hard to be aggressive when you're confused. Some of us think that taking our lives to the next level, both personally and professionally, is a confusing and complicated process. Guess what? It's not, and I can prove it. My book, Truisms, will show you how living your life by rules that are so self-evident and obvious, you'll say, I knew that. This powerful yet short, detailed bestseller is on sale right now, under $10. Go to michaelmcfadden.com. That's michaelmcfadden.com, and let Truisms help you to the next level.
Driving has a rhythm all its own. Don't wreck it with a text. Before you get behind the wheel, silence your phone. Or better yet, designate a texter. For more text-free driving tips, visit stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
In the interest of science.
All right, so this time with the science, we are looking at stress levels. So we talk about, how black women, black men experience levels of stress that are different for different reasons. But it's interesting because this research study that was published in the Washington Post and hosted by the Kaiser Family Foundation found that both black men and black women have higher self-esteem than their white counterparts. Nearly 3/4 of black men and 2/3 of black women strongly agree with the sentence, I see myself as someone who has high self-esteem. So self-esteem has gone up. So by comparison, 59% of white men and fewer than half of white women strongly agree. So similarly, black women and men say that they're less stressed. Fewer than 1/3 of black men say that they frequently experience stress, compared to 44% of white men. 4 in 10 black women frequently experience stress, yet just over half of white women say the same. So we are less stressed. Surprising, right? But despite the higher self-esteem and less stress, Black women and men actually report more worries. So there's less stress and more worries. Isn't that?
I didn't
like
know that there was a difference.
I know. I'm like, is
there's a distinction here, and maybe it's just in the way that they reported in the way that they responded. The participants responded because from a list of 9 worries, more Black men and women are very worried. More so than white men and women. More than any other group, Black men are worried, for example, about having enough money to pay bills and providing a good education for their kids. And so there is a distinction between stress and worries. And I think the worry becomes stress when you internalize it. So you can have a worry about something, a concern about something, and not necessarily embody the stress of it. So it tells me that maybe we're doing some pretty good on the stress, on the coping skills in order to reduce the amount of stress. One last part is worry. The list is limited, according to this study, as worries like AIDS and HIV are ultimately not top tier for any group. So no group is worried about things like that. Given the importance of having a good relationship to white women and Black men in particular, the list should include worries such as divorce and not finding a partner. This is the commentary of the person who wrote the article. So, but anyway, the overall gist of it is that there's less stress, more self-esteem, and more worries.
I can agree with that, though.
Yeah?
I really can, because in doing self-care techniques, it does, relieve a lot of that stress, but you may still have some worries. So I can agree with that. Yeah.
To know how to distinguish between the two.
Right.
Because I'm just like, that kind of makes sense. Okay, I can have a worry, but as long as I don't internalize it or have a space to where I learn how to cope and take the worry, like I may have a concern about it, but it's going to be okay, and here's how I'm going to nurture myself. So, yeah.
So there's some, comfort in the idea that your worries don't have to stress you out.
Right.
I think so. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
That is an epiphany at this
point.
I think that's dope,
Your worries don't have to stress you out. Your worries can, and I've heard this kind of with meditation, you can recognize something, acknowledge it, and then let it go away. Just let it float away.
Do you think, Ivana, that with what it is that you offer through your company, that is kind of like one of I guess, do you see your company as offering a coping mechanism, or what is it how is it that you see Sensational Fame nurturing folk, especially us as women? Like, I really want to know that, because I love her products, by the way. But I'm gonna let her,
I do see it as a coping mechanism for women. It's a way to just get away. It's what we were talking about from the beginning of the show. We have to find a way to just put things to the side and focus on us and take care of us. So to me personally, my product, just say for instance, I have a candle scent that's called My Happy Place, and it was one of my favorites, and I really, really loved it after I let my mom try it, and she absolutely loved it. And just to hear the smile in her voice every time we talk about that one particular candle is like, it gives you a peace of mind. And some may say, well, a candle can do that, but you just don't know. You take some time, go into a room or into a closet just for yourself, whether it's 5 minutes, whether it's 15 minutes, and just inhale the smells coming and soothing out of it. You can get your own peace of mind. And to me, that's part of what my company represents. You want to be able to go to a place where you don't have to worry about anything, where you don't want to have to stress about anything, because we all need that.
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
Yes, absolutely. Wow.
That's what I love about one of the self-care techniques that I teach women is the herbal vaginal steam. Because
I've done that
when
once.
you do this, you're taking at least 30 minutes for yourself. And when you take that 30 minutes, be prepared to go in, because you will, you know, and once you come out of that time, you will be soaring. And it's a magical thing, you know. If you don't know about it, get with me.
Yeah. Wow. Oh, well, that's great. And I actually, we're going to come back. I have some questions. All right, stay with us. We'll be right back on the Live Exchange.
Our freedom and security are made possible through the service and sacrifice of our military and first responders. The Gary Sinise Foundation provides many outreach programs supporting these brave men and women. Join us. Donate at GarySiniseFoundation.org.
So, I'm a dog, and I just got adopted by this new human guy, and I'm starting to wonder how he got along without me. I mean, okay, something as simple as walking around the block. He's got this leash thing, and he puts me on one end and him on the other, and I'm just taking him around. I think he's afraid of getting lost. Without that leash and me guiding him along, I don't think he'd find his way back home. But it's kind of cute.
A person is the best thing to happen to a shelter pet. Be that person. Adopt. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the ShelterPetProject.org.
When I grow up, I want to be a new pair of blue jeans. When I grow up, I want to be a kid's first computer. I want to be a warm fleece on a cold day. Football stadium. I want to be a bike that races around the country. I want to be a bench on a forest trail. When I grow up, I don't want to be a piece of garbage. And if you recycle me, I won't be.
Give your garbage another life. Recycle. Learn how at iwanttoberecycled.org. Brought to you by Keep America Beautiful and the Ad Council.
People been saying to your friend, get a different face, and posting on their feed, they're super ugly. The things they say to them online are cruel and they're not true. So tell your friend, I'll stand up for you. Don't worry, I know what to do.
Know someone being bullied online? You can be a witness and make a difference by letting the world know it isn't cool and by letting your friend know you care. Learn more at eyewitnessbullying.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
There's a power you have within you, unlike any other. You can't explain it. It's just there. It drives you, compels you. You cannot ignore it. Do you feel it? It's that power that tells you you can do the absolute impossible. The power that tells you you're more than what you currently are. The power that tells you it's time. Launch. Move. Skyrocket your life with Rocket Sports One fitness gear. RocketSports-1.com.
Coming to Tampa Bay, I said we want to win a Super Bowl, and I believe we will.
From IamSecond.com.
We came close, but never really did win that championship.
Former NFL head coach Tony Dungy.
At the end of my 6th year, I was fired, and it was one of the biggest disappointments of my life. Next year, I'm in Indianapolis, get to the playoffs, but get knocked out again. And for the next couple of years, it's the same thing. Everyone is saying Colts are never going to win one. And I did wonder, why didn't it pan out the way I thought it would? But I determined that I had to have Christ first, and that everything else came below that, including my own desires. The next year, that ended up being our year to go to the Super Bowl and win it, and it was a wonderful feeling. Every decision I make, I'm going to make it through the lens of Jesus Christ, and he guides us to that ultimate victory. I'm Tony Dungy, and I am second.
You don't know the power of the Sensation Network. The power.
So, I'm a dog, and I just got adopted by this new human guy, and I'm starting to wonder how he got along without me. I mean, okay, something as simple as walking around the block. He's got this leash thing, and he puts me on one end and him on the other, and I'm just taking him around. I think he's afraid of getting lost. Without that leash and me guiding him along, I don't think he'd find his way back home. But it's kind of cute.
A person is the best thing to happen to a shelter pet. Be that person. Adopt. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the ShelterPetProject.org.
All right, welcome back to the Live Exchange. I'm Dr. Pamela, and right before we went to break, Nar was telling us about some vaginal experience that we all need to experience. So
It is an experience.
It is. So tell us a little bit more about this.
Okay, so the herbal vaginal steam, the way that it was first introduced to me, you would hear like your elder mothers in the village be like, "Oh, you need to sit over the pot." Mm-hmm. That's how they used to say it. But what it is, you are literally sitting over a pot of herbs that are steeping in water, hot water, and the nutrients from these herbs are going, up to the steam through the porous regions of your vaginal canal. And your rectum is also good for men for prostate care. Okay. Get with me, men.
I did not know this.
Yes.
Okay.
So what it does, it helps tone, strengthen your reproductive system. It can help flush out anything that may need to come out. It's helped women with cysts, fibroids, any built up tissues or masses that may have, if women have heavy bleeding, anything of that nature. It can also help with your menstrual cycle. It's just a good self-care technique to do for yourself, especially for young girls once they begin having their menses. This is a rites of passage that we can introduce to them for self-care so that they can take that time for themselves. Like our young lady what was her name again? It was
who asked about her mom?
Nalana. Yes. So,
yeah.
When we introduce these things to young girls as they're coming up, they may not feel the way that, she feels in connecting, with her mother or connecting, with women, because this is something that was passed along to women.
Yeah.
It was something that we need to reintroduce also, to women to take that time for self, to get into self.
Right.
And it gives that time, and it's also physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual healing.
Wow, I love it. Wow.
I'm going to have to go sign up. I just was thinking the same thing, girl.
And not to put in a plug, but I just created the Vow Steam and Wine. So we're going to be listening to Caribbean sounds, rolling them hips, getting that hip work going, and doing our steam. Yes, ma'am.
Like it's like an event that people could come to?
Small groups of women.
Wow.
We're going to get them together. We're going to do meditation exercises, affirmation exercises.
Wow.
We're going to be rolling our hips, doing different exercises, and then we're going to do our steam.
Wow.
So here's my question, because I'm familiar with this. I'm comfortable. Right. But for those women who are this is new, and so again, the premise premise of SOAR, introducing things, alternatives in what you're doing, what you know. Get out there, be resourceful, find your support. So how do you create a space to where women can be comfortable in a group setting?
Well, if they don't want to be in a group setting, that's okay too. We can do one-on-one. But for those who are comfortable with sharing a space with their sisters, because when we come together as sisters, we are that. There's no judgment. There's no one saying, hey, you don't need to be a part of this. It's very welcoming. And I do small groups, to have people be comfortable. But I
is there
also
like
do
a
one-on-one?
Okay, but is there like an icebreaker? Like, hey, it's like in the small group. Like, how do you set the space up? You get what I'm saying? Like, how is it that you set the space to create a small group setting for those that do come as a small group?
I don't know.
You just let it organically happen.
I introduce it to them. I give them information beforehand, letting them know what we're going to be doing. And if everyone is in agreement with that, it's like, let's just do it.
Okay. Yeah. So that is so beautiful.
Yeah. I've done that, and I thought, wow, this is so, and I've heard when I learned just the historical roots of it, and it's like, wow,
it's been done
I've never heard of this.
Years.
Yeah.
And, there are cultures that never stop doing it. Even though us here in America, we never really heard of it. It's becoming popular now.
Right.
But you go into other countries like Thailand, even in Africa, there are women who still this.
Yeah.
It's normal.
Yeah,
You know,
it's
they're like,
regular.
this is something you need to be doing
Regularly.
Yeah, regularly.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. So when you talked about, well, I'd like to know more about Reiki, because we haven't talked about that at all. So can you tell us what it is and how you incorporate that into the work that you do?
Well, Reiki is energy work.
Okay.
And it's like, well, transferring of energy. And the way that I utilize it is I open myself up to great energy to be passed on to whoever it is that because I do it at random times. There are times where I focus on doing it. I may use crystals, I may use sound therapy, you know, different things when I'm doing a session, or if I'm doing a steaming session with someone, I may utilize all of those things. But just generally, like even now, I want to pass off good energy. I want to pass off strong energy.
Right.
I want to pass, you know, NAR energy, you know,
I love it.
because I'm really soaring, you know, and I just want people to take that into themselves and to soar wherever they want to go.
Wow. I love that. I love that. And I used a doula when I was, I was, and it happened very last minute, and I love her, Lynette McQuitty. I've got to shout her out. She's in Wisconsin, and she actually opened the Natural Birth Center, I think it's called. She opened a center. It is the most beautiful
I would love
things
to do
I
that
have
one day.
ever seen. If you ever get to Wisconsin, you have to check it out.
I would.
She spent quite a bit of time training. She was first she was a midwife at first, and I think she went and got trained in one of the countries in Africa, and I cannot remember, but she told stories about women who would come to her. One woman was pregnant with twins and was in labor, was walking, had to walk 10 miles to get to her, and one child had already been born, or partially born, and so she was, but she got there, you know. Right. She was like, and because the services that they were providing was, they didn't have it close to them, so that's why she was intentionally in that particular region, so that she can reach out to women who were so rural that they didn't get any assistance. And so she came back here and she opened a wellness center that is like, I told her I'm going to get pregnant again so that I can come to this wellness specifically for this center. I mean, you lay down and the ceiling is just like night, and it's got stars, and it's got this serene music, and her thing was, I want women to feel totally at ease, and every sense of comfort you can think of is there. It's set up to where the entire family can come. There's a kitchen kind of at the center of all of these suites that she's created. I mean, it is the most amazing thing. And so
that's beautiful.
We don't think about birth and how we can really make birth a powerful experience.
I think that's how a part of how we get our empowerment back.
I felt like Superwoman or whatever, or somebody, probably even greater than Superwoman. I mean, that was the most powerful experience of my life, to be able to give birth naturally, with, you know, her assistant. I had to fire my doctor the day before because he said, "Oh, you're going to be," he said, "You're going to be screaming just like all the other women asking for medication."
No. Really?
Oh, that's a no-no.
You're fired. That's what he said to me.
That's a no-no.
I'm glad you fired him. And I'm glad you got your beautiful experience.
It was a beautiful experience. Thank God. Okay. We'll be right back on the Live Exchange.
Great leaders aren't born. They're made, and not just anywhere. They're made in special places by special qualified trainers in places like the Academy of Creative Coaching. The Academy of Creative Coaching is an international certification program with courses in health and wellness coaching, spiritual coaching, relationship coaching, executive coaching, life coaching, and cultural competency coaching. Courses are online, hybrid, or face-to-face. The Academy of Creative Coaching is empowering coaches to empower the world. Make a positive change in yourself and the world. Go to academyofcreativecoaching.com.
Vince Lombardi once said that it's hard to be aggressive when you're confused. Some of us think that taking our lives to the next level, both personally and professionally, is a confusing and complicated process. Guess what? It's not, and I can prove it. My book, Truisms, will show you how living your life by rules that are so self-evident and obvious, you'll say, I knew that. This powerful yet short, detailed bestseller is on sale right now, under $10. Go to michaelmcfadden.com. truisms.com. That's michaelmcfadden.com, and let truisms help you to the next level.
Marianne.
Right, welcome back to the Live Exchange. I'm Dr. Pamela, and we're talking about women's health, but really we're just talking about just women and just life and living. But one of the things that we talked about earlier that I really wanted to come back to, because we didn't really conclude, or we were talking about the hashtag #MeToo.
Yeah.
And I think Danelle's point, which was a really great point, is that, we have the hashtag, we have this awareness, we have women bearing their stories, we have people telling their stories, but where's the action? Where's the solution? And I don't know. I mean, I would love to hear, because my thought is there's action, but is it the correct kind of action? I don't know. What's the frustration?
Like I said, for me, it's just like, again, it's like the rebuttal, like what, and I'm not saying that there's nothing out there, because there is. I'm sure there is. I feel like people are hitting the ground and walking, whatever it is that they need to do for themselves.
Right.
But collectively, I'm just like, you put the hashtag out there, and again, so now it's known. Mm-hmm. Folks are identified. People are saying, hey, me too, such and such. I've had this experience, da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da. So for me now, it's like, and just from her perspective, now, where do you go if you cannot, or you find yourself functioning in a space where you're trapped in that same time frame? Like, it had such an impact on you that you have been living in that space for that, since 10 years ago, and now you might be 38 and this happened 28.
Yeah.
Or if you were 18 and now you're 28. So it's like, again, what is it that is going on with people? Whatever it looks like, whatever it needs, to take place, how are you helping and supporting yourself, whether man, woman? What are you doing? What's the work that you're putting behind it, so that you can really show up and you don't have to hide anymore? Because there's a reason why you didn't tell nobody to begin with. There's a reason.
Absolutely.
So I don't know. That's just my perspective on it. So I want to acknowledge that there are folks out here that is helping people to support the work that needs to happen. But again, where's the part to this? Now that she's put this out here, what else will you be saying? In sponsor
So who's
this.
responsible for part 2?
Well, I mean, she put it out there, so she needs to figure out what next to it.
Well, I wonder, though, did she know it was going to do what it did?
Probably not.
So if I were to say, hey, if you guys, any of my Facebook friends, if you guys experience it, put me too, and then it turned into this whirlwind of thing, I'm like, oh, so it's on me now? Like, I gotta, like, or is that on all of us?
So again, I think it's on all of us, but here's the point of where, if it was you too, here's a point where you can get stretched yourself.
Right.
It's an opportunity. So are you going to be in the opportune time? And again, you have these people that are following you. And at the end of the day, it's not about the other people. It's getting back to her.
Right.
So you've said it. So now what work are you doing? And you have a choice. You don't have to go out there and lead the way and stuff like that, but you put it out there.
So with asking that question, we might need to look it up and find out because there may be things that she's done. I don't know. There could be a foundation. There could be, honestly don't know. But I always wonder when people ask that question, it's like, okay, well, there's a lot that can be done.
Don't be scared now. You don't put it out there. And that's just anybody's journey. I mean, it's even, again, with what it is that I'm experiencing right now, there's some things I'm scared on, but I'm going to keep moving.
Yeah.
But it's trusting yourself.
Yeah.
And there's a reason why you put it out there, and it was important for you enough to do it.
Right.
And there's people that are in agreement with you. They're having the same type of experience, or so anyway.
Right, absolutely.
Yes.
No, I'm pulling it up because I'm curious now. Like, okay, what's happened after? All right, stay with us on the Live Exchange.
More connected than ever before. 90% of America's students use some form of social media, but not all of it's used in a good way. Hurtful posts online are leading to social isolation for many. Psychologists say it's bullying in a brand new way. Well, Beyond Differences and I Keep Safe are looking to change that with ideas for students, their parents, and even teachers. Take the pledge to be kind online and learn more at wearekindonline.com.
Driving has a rhythm all its own. Don't wreck it with a text. Before you get behind the wheel, silence your phone. Or better yet, designate a texter. For more text-free driving tips, visit stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
I am an American soldier. I'm a warrior and a member of a team.
I serve the people of the United States and live the Army values.
I will always place this first.
I will never accept defeat.
I will never accept defeat.
I will never quit. I will never leave a fallen comrade. I am disciplined.
I am disciplined.
Physically and mentally tough.
Trained and proficient in my warrior tasks and drills. I always maintain my arms, my equipment, and myself.
I am an expert and I am a professional.
I stand ready to deploy, engage, and destroy the
Enemies of the United States of America in close combat.
I am a guardian of freedom and the American way of life.
I am an American soldier.
I am an American soldier.
I am an American soldier.
There's strong, and there's Army strong. See what it takes at GoArmy.com.
Listen, as a hiring manager, I've got to tell you, the best job candidate isn't always the typical candidate. Sometimes they're a grad of life.
Meet the grads of life. Young adults of unique determination and experience. An ideal fit for your company in an entry-level position, internship, or mentorship. They might not have every qualification you typically look for, but they're exactly who your company needs.
Sometimes the best candidates aren't the ones you're used to.
Go to gradsoflife.org to learn how to find, cultivate, and train this great pool of untapped talent. Brought to you by the Ad Council and gradsoflife.org.
This is big business. This is the American way.
Station Network.
See ya.
Keeping your balance with Dr. Pamela. Dr. Pamela. Dr. Pamela.
All right, so this week's Balance Challenge, we talked about that in the first hour. In the first hour, I challenge you all to take on set a new boundary. Set a new boundary for yourself. Come up with something that is different from what you've already done, from what you're already doing. Do you ladies have a balance, something you're going to do this week differently? How are you going to draw a boundary for yourself this week?
Well, for me, what I've had to start doing, because I have been so ingrained in soar this, soar that, soar. So I've had to actually learn how to take a day where I do nothing.
Right.
So that's what I'm doing as I'm living my vision, as I'm sharing with other people. There's a day where it's just me in my house, or whatever it is that I feel that's conducive for me, and to just disconnect. So that's me, and I've started that about 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Not to put y'all on the spot, but
I would have to say, for me, is to get back into journaling. I stopped actually writing, and now I feel like I really have to get back to that, because there's so many things that I need to say to myself and to others.
I love it. You have anything about it?
Well, I'm going to challenge myself to take, I can't say a day like Danelle, because honestly, it won't happen for me. I don't know. I love working. So maybe an hour or two just to myself is what I'm going to challenge myself to do, and just say, you know what, I'm not going to pick up my phone. I'm not going to look at doing anything. I'm just going to take 2 hours and just relax. That's the challenge. It's actually a real challenge for me, because I don't know how to do that, but I'm going to challenge myself and do that.
Go sit on the pot with
yes,
because I am so ready to experience that.
Yes.
That's so awesome.
Well, anything else you ladies want to add to this conversation as we wrap up?
It's just been very enlightening, and I just thank you for just the women, again, that I'm seeing in reflection of me and myself, and the progression that I'm going through and unfolding to next. So I applaud you, and I just thank you.
Yes.
So I'm in gratitude right now.
I definitely thank Danelle for inviting me on the show today. I was like, this is awesome. Like, I finally get to have my voice be heard.
I love it.
You know, it's just a wonderful thing, and I definitely thank you, Miss Dr. Pamela, also for having me on the show.
Definitely have to have you guys back.
Well, I thank all you ladies. I actually enjoyed myself, and to be honest, this is not what I consider my thing. I like to be on the back burner. Danelle know. She'll text me and she'll be like, I know what you're thinking. Just come on. So This has been really, really exciting to me, so I enjoy myself.
Yes, I love it. Thank you for coming. Thank you so much. And so to reach you all, it is the Womb Protector.
Protector of the Womb.
Protector of the Womb.
Yes, Facebook and Instagram.
Okay.
And you can reach me on Facebook and Instagram at Sensational Flame.
All right.
And you can find Danelle Porcher everywhere now. Snapchat. I ain't doing no Snapchat. And I just want to implore to y'all, just if you have a moment, October 29th, 2017, from 1 to 6 p.m., the performance starts exactly at 3 p.m. But come soar with us.
Yes.
Come be in the celebration. Yes, there's vendors. There's a performance. It's an hour and a half. You can just make the performance 3 to 4:30. But the whole concept is just celebration of us as women and where you are soaring right now.
I love it.
And just
start with where you are.
Yeah, get some sources, resources.
Mm-hmm. And you can find a live exchange here every Thursday from 11 to 1. And next we're going to be joined by financial expert Miss Terry Marie Bridges to discuss something we all love to talk about is credit. Right. I'm Dr. Pamela, and remember to love yourself to life, dance confidently in the dark, and dream wildly unrealistic dreams. Have an awesome week.